One thing that is quite easy to see when you look at the criteria the examiner is using to give you your band score in the IELTS speaking test is that if you want the highest scores, they expect you to use English in a natural way that seems effortless. This can't really be faked and just requires a lot of speaking. The examiner can easily hear if the vocabulary, grammar, or pronunciation you're using is coming naturally or being forced. If you memorize phrases and try to fit them into what you're speaking about, the examiner will be able to hear this. If you're trying to build your vocabulary in preparation for the test, you must make sure you've used these words and phrases enough. It is important you understand the contexts of the word you're using and how it's used in a sentence from using it and listening to it being used. Using brand new vocabulary in the test is probably not advisable, as you probably don't have a full understanding. Sticking to words that you really know is a good idea. Don't try to make things difficult for yourself. Forcing certain phrases and vocabulary is not a great thing to do, and neither is forcing your grammar. Thinking about the grammar you're using too much is just going to confuse you, and maybe even confuse the examiner. Sometimes students will try to use a more complex tense or sentence structure that is usually unnecessary and often wrong. Trying to force certain structures and tenses will make your speaking sound clumsy and broken. It's best to stick to focusing on answering the question and not what grammar you're using. There's no time for this. Pronunciation is another part of your speaking you shouldn't spend too much time thinking about when you're in the test. You've really got no time to think about pronunciation when you're answering questions, and there's not enough time to correct yourself every 2 seconds. Your pronunciation can be improved in your preparation time, well in advance, so you can speak smoothly without focusing on your pronunciation. You can see speaking naturally involves ignoring most of the aspects of your speaking that the examiner is going to give you a band score for. This probably seems a bit confusing, but not focusing on grammar, vocabulary, and pronunciation will make it sound more natural. If you've prepared enough, your speaking will sound natural and unforced at a high enough standard to get the score you need. It's best to try to see the speaking test as a normal conversation. Thanks for watching. If you found the video useful, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future videos.